Alright, so coming back to the map is not the territory. In this part of the video, I want to focus on perceptions and how your perceptions of reality is distorted by your personal beliefs and opinions. I want you to see how your beliefs are like pre-drawn maps in your mind that you then use to explore reality, to navigate the territory. And in doing so, you may come across certain situations, certain circumstances, or even people who do not model your belief maps, do not model those ideas that you have in your mind about how they should or shouldn't be. And as a result, you judge, you criticize, and you condemn them. You have certain ideas about them. You want to influence how they act. So I'm going to read out a list of examples. And for each of these examples, just think about how you feel or what ideas may come to mind about the situation I'm reading out. Maybe you have an opinion about it, or you feel like judging the situation. Just notice that. So the first example is you're on the street and someone comes over to you begging for some money, some change. How do you feel about that? Do you have certain preconceived ideas about how this person should behave or act, or what they should be doing or shouldn't be doing? What about someone's appearance or behavior? Do you have any judgments about that? Do your ideas tell you that they should behave or appear a certain way? Now, that is not to say that you should tolerate someone's physical abuse or verbal abuse towards you. You definitely want to say something then. You want to defend yourself, of course. But notice that you may just see someone who you don't like how they're dressed or they're acting a certain way, and you want to judge them. What about someone's personal beliefs or religion? If you follow a certain religion and which may be different from somebody else's, do you have an opinion about that? Do you want to try and convert them maybe, as some people might want to? What about someone's political leaning? You may be left or right, Democrat or Republican, liberal or conservative. And if someone else is on the other side of the fence, do you want to judge this person a certain way? You want to tell them something? If you're in traffic and you're driving and someone cuts you off or is driving too slow, do you react? Do you judge? I notice if I'm driving and for some reason I'm late for an appointment and I'm trying to get there on time, and if somebody is driving too slow in front of me, or I get too many red lights, I feel something, like I feel some frustration building up in me, maybe a little anger. But before I can react, I notice it and I just let it go. So do you take notice, or do you just react? If you have a kid and he or she gets a bad grade or does something in school that gets him or her in trouble, you definitely want to rectify the behavior, but how do you go about doing that? By judging what he or she did? And if you're in a meeting and someone is late for an appointment, how do you criticize or judge that person? So these are just a few examples. I'm sure you can think of many, many more examples where you may have come across certain situations where you judged or criticized someone. I read somewhere that you can always replace judgment with curiosity. So rather than judging, you can ask questions. You can inquire about the situation, why they are doing what they're doing, why they're acting that way. Perhaps see it from their viewpoint, from their perspective. Also notice how others judge you. How dare someone judges you when they haven't lived a day in your shoes? But notice you do the same thing. Also notice how you judge yourself, criticize yourself. You think society expects you to model a certain set of characteristics or behaviors, but you are a certain way, and you come across people who criticize you. You may be doing the same thing. So, is it possible to see someone or something, the territory in this case, for what it is, rather than for what you want it to be? Notice that the territory is unpredictable. Sometimes it may work to your advantage, sometimes it may not. But notice when it fails to work to your advantage, you want to try to influence the territory. You want to change it. When you look at someone or a situation, you expect them to model a certain set of characteristics or values or qualities that reflect those ideas that you have in your mind. But guess what? The map is not the territory. And you cannot amend the territory. You can only amend your maps to reflect the territory.